There we go. We are now on. I need to put my soundboard again. There we go. And there goes all that. And there's all that. Any requests for opening the show?
My music.
Okay. We'll open with John. And then Jesse requests David me. I think I got a good closing game. We'll see what happens. Maybe we don't. Okay. Who is ready for a countdown?
Me.
Definitely me.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm good.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune, and we are back in the house once again in the year 2020. Here we are, folks. It's ya boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
Hey, I'm good at this. And we got David Fleming. Say hey. I almost called you Javid.
Hey.
David.
Yeah, good old Javid Fleming. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, what we are going to do is we are going to listen to some video game tunes. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. And the winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode and plays some of their bonus tunes. And the winner last week, or a couple weeks ago, we missed last week. Thanks, John. You feeling better, John?
Mostly. I'm not 100% there, but I'm just about there. I'm doing
That's
my
good,
best
man.
to
I'm glad to hear it.
not cough tonight.
Seems my thoughts and prayers worked. The winner last. God damn it! The winner a couple weeks ago was me, and since we're in this new year, 2020, I wanted to look back 20 years to the year 2000. Theme that when you say it in such a way sounds so logical and makes perfect sense. So we're doing games from the year 2000, the new millennium, nay, the Willennium. That's the last Will 2K joke I'm going to make on the show.
Is it though?
Is it? We'll just see, man.
Is it the new millennium? I believe the new millennium started in the year 2001 because that's where we start counting years from.
Don't
not 0.
do that thing. That is just not what I'm interested in discussing.
That was That was so. Are you sure? That was such a 1999 asshole thing of me to say.
Yeah, it was, man. Wow, John, you want to get like super pedantic about when decades start and end? Because technically, time is a construct, and a new decade starts and ends every single moment.
Yeah.
Wow, John, you're really blowing my fucking mind. But thankfully, John blowing people's minds is not the theme, and it seldom occurs on Game That Tune. No, we're listening to games from 2000, so we got some great systems to draw from. We got the Nintendo 64, we got the PlayStation, we even have the launch of the PlayStation 2. Game Boy's still kicking around. The Dreamcast hasn't been taken off life support just yet. We got a diverse slate, and I think it's going to be a fun show, man. Because I don't know about the rest of you guys, but these year-specific shows, I don't typically have to scrape the barrel, but I think I unwittingly picked a year in which we'd used a lot of games already. So, anybody want to do an opening toss-up, hazard a guess as to just how many games from the year 2000 we've previously used on Game That Tune?
2,000.
800.
Oh, close. David's closest without going over. The answer was 38. Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot. It is a lot, considering the Nintendo 64 only had 6 releases that year. 38 is a pretty significant number of 2000 games that we previously used. So yeah, I think we've all chosen our second and third string 2000 games for tonight's show. So we'll just see, man. Johnny, we got to jump right into it, man. Let's kick it off.
Game 1.
Abrupt cutoff?
Yep.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. So, once the player collects all gold dragon heads and beats the Shaolin Temple bonus level with a good score, a short bonus behind-the-scenes FMV clip of the titular character talking about the making of this game is played. Short and sweet, guys. Who's feeling great?
I'm feeling actually really good.
You say, John, it's an audio podcast. Nod your fucking head. Say something. Good. Yeah, there seems to be a really relevant chat going on in our chat box right now. So let's see some answers. Ooh, Johnny says Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Special Forces is my favorite character in Mortal Kombat. David says Spider-Man, which is unfortunately incorrect because that would be pretty great if Spider-Man took you behind the scenes of his own game. And Jesse has the correct answer. This is Jackie Chan Stuntmaster.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, man, my man Jackie. And there's a very relevant discussion about everyone's favorite Chinese food going on in the chat right now. And someone, I believe, said, this sounds like some funky Chinese restaurant music. I'm like, damn, someone's really on the right track here.
See, I
How
was
did you
thinking
know?
of like, especially with the Shaolin like trivia and everything. It's like, oh, I bet this was one of those Mortal Kombat games. And then I saw Special Forces. Like, that's not a character.
Yeah, good try, John. I like where your head's at.
So that one had Jax, and I thought you had an FMV of Jax giving you behind the scenes of making the game. Like, somebody took the time to animate Jax, like taking you through the game development studios and talking to people and stuff like that.
Oh, God. Be pretty great, man, if they got the same actor who played him in like Mortal Kombat Annihilation to take you through. Yeah, like,
Although, to be fair, that is not in the Mortal Kombat animation budget.
Yeah,
Like, especially around circa 2000. There's no way they could do that.
yeah, no, they were famously not doing great at that time. No, but anyway, yeah. So by beating the game and finding all the gold dragon heads, you get a video of Jackie Chan like talking about the behind the scenes making of this game. I have to imagine he knows nothing about the making of this game. It's not like a Jackie Chan movie, so. I don't know. I did not beat the game in preparation.
I'll bet he was directly
find out.
involved. I bet they mocapped him doing stunts. Okay, and that he actually did. Because like
Okay.
he seems like the kind of guy that gets involved in a project. He doesn't seem like he's gonna slap his name on any old thing. Jackie Chan, his name means something to him.
That's true. Jackie Chan does not half-ass anything.
No, that is not even a joke. That's stone cold fact right there. It'd be kind of funny though, like just picturing him like showing up to Midway and just being, or I don't think Midway made this, but just showing up to a game studio and being like, guys, I'm here. It's me, Jackie. How can I help? I'm a hands-on guy. How do we achieve this stunt? It's like, we use CGI models to make video games, Mr. Chan. It's like, oh, well, okay. Who wants coffee? I'm going to Starbucks. And then
Who
he, like,
can
jumps
te-
out a window.
Who can teach me C real quick?
I know a little bit of Lua, but I don't really know much.
I love the idea of Jackie Chan going up. It's like, oh no, we use CGI models. Like we wouldn't need you for anything. And he just sees a guy in a mocap suit. Like, what the fuck is that then?
I just imagine him seeing a guy in a mocap suit and he thinks it's some kind of like ninja challenge, like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He slaps all the ping pong balls off the guy, and no one hears him.
I like the idea of Jackie Chan actually being a pretty prolific Lua programmer because it turns out he's been writing like plugins for Gary's Mod for a few years now. Like,
yep. Good old Jackie's Mod. But no, it's not that. I don't know how involved he was in the making of it. Because also, like, I thought, oh man, that'd be kind of cool, like a game with Jackie Chan, like videos in between as cutscenes. And then it's like, actually, no, the making of it, the end is the only thing that uses actual Jackie Chan. Everything else is like rendered cutscenes of an animated Jackie Chan. I'm like, oh man, that's kind of a letdown. Like. Because it'd be kind of cool having a PlayStation beat 'em up game starring Jackie Chan where they actually had like a Jackie Chan stunt movie going on in between the things, like in between the levels. I think that would actually be really fucking cool. Like, I assume it's just an amalgamation of all his movies, so it's just like you're playing Rumble in the Bronx and you're on big hovercraft and you're beating your way up through the hovercraft, and then it just plays that clip from Rumble in the Bronx where he jumps off the hovercraft. Like, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at a screenshot of the Jackie Chan in the game, And I
That's
don't
pretty
think,
fucking flawless, isn't it?
I don't think I want it any other way. I'm counting maybe 12 polygons in his head, maybe.
Yeah, man, the face is fantastic. Like, the Jackie face. I mean, he's
Looks like
Oh,
a GoldenEye
God.
character.
I mean, vaguely, it's yeah, no, I don't even know what to make of it, but like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of fidelity to that Jackie, which is just too bad. Yeah, he's got a white t-shirt, he's got his jeans. It was nice they animated his belt. Classic Jackie Chan stuff. He's a man with a belt. As far as the story goes, very important for games like Jackie Chan Stuntmaster. You're playing as Jackie, and you work for your grandfather's courier service, and then you're going out to eat with your grandfather, and surprise, surprise, that motherfucker gets kidnapped, along with a precious, mysterious package. And so Jackie's got to go out and beat people up and get his grandfather and the mysterious package back.
Wait,
So
is that cutscene leading up to the game, or are those levels? Because I would like to play the level where you go out to dinner with your grandfather.
I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't know if that's cutscene, because honestly, a few levels of just being a courier would be kind of cool. Like just some Jackie Chan, like Mirror's Edge 3D platforming shit would be kind of cool. And then you have to have like a date sim with your grandfather where you're at a Chinese restaurant, and you have to just have a normal conversation. And then your grandfather gets kidnapped and it becomes a beat 'em up. Like, maybe this game was super diverse and ahead of its time. It wasn't. I'm certain of it. But,
See, I'm thinking
I'm
more
almost
along the lines of the courier service just being like Paperboy, but starring Jackie Chan. It's like
so
you're just walking down the street and suddenly there are just like zombies and ninjas and like guys transplanting giant panes of glass you have to kick people through.
Yes, or just just constant platforming challenges somehow on a normal neighborhood street. Jackie, he'd be up for it, man.
Some PS1 games, they put in like old arcade games as loading screen games, right? So you could have like a Paperboy style 8-bit, game during the loading for the real level. So you could have
That's right.
That could be how you do the mini game in there.
I'm sure they took the care to do that, John. I didn't look into the loading screens on this, but
What?
yeah.
What kind of research have you done?
Hey, man, I know you're just making a joke here. We normally do research all loading screens before Game That Tune, but I was just a little behind the 8 ball this week, man. I'm sorry. I apologize, man. I want to honor Jackie a little better than this. I'm keeping him on a first name basis.
He is a
Jackie
close
Chan
personal
Stuntmaster.
friend of the show.
We're establishing that in the canon right now. Jackie, he's actually going to be on the show next week when Jesse's off doing his thing. So we'll have special guest Jackie. It's going to be very good.
We're not going to say his last name because we don't think we need to, but it's Jackie.
It's implied, man. We know a man named Jackie, and I did once push him out of a building, and he
survived,
and he's going to be on the show. It's great. Guy loves games. Definitely was involved in the making of games. But sorry for scraping the barrel on this one, folks. Like I established in the opening of the show, we've used a lot of games from the year 2000, and I was a predominantly Nintendo 64 playing kid back then. And I'm kind of hitting my limit on this. I did not think about that as I chose the theme for this week. So enjoy Jackie Chan Stuntmaster any way you can find it. And Johnny, let's go on to a game that I think maybe somebody played. Fingers crossed.
Game 2.
So this game was packaged with a demo disc that included the following games: Chocobo Racing, Front Mission 3, Threads of Fate, Chrono Cross, Saga Frontier 2, and Chocobo Dungeon 2. Oh, and Legend of Mana. All right, gentlemen, how you guys feeling?
Pretty good.
Cool. Let's see what we got. Let's see, Johnny says Final Fantasy 9. That is incorrect. John is still scrambling for a writing device, and he's writing feverishly. David says, oh wait, okay. John says Vagrant Story. David says Vagrant Story. You guys are both correct.
Cool.
So yeah, this is Vagrant Story from on the PlayStation, and this is a weird game. It's an action RPG with a pretty cool art style for it. You know, it's still PlayStation graphics and weird polygons, but I think it looks neat.
Yeah, it's got kind of that like kind of sepia tone-ish to it, like
yeah,
not terribly colorful, but like kind of cool graphics.
Yeah, it's like an action RPG. It's kind of similar to Parasite Eve, if you've played that, where you can like pause the battles to pick what kind of attacks you do, but otherwise it's kind of like action RPG. The thing is like it's kind of dense with like menus and weird stats and like a lot of like this is a game that if you want to get into, you gotta fucking get into. You can't play this thing casually, and it's a little too much for me. But it's I don't know, it's an alright game.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, I guess the Wikipedia mentions that there's no like character interaction in it. It's pretty much just like action and weapon crafting.
Yeah, the weapon crafting is almost infuriating. I did not
Oh, really?
understand it. It's just I didn't know what I was fucking doing, and like the manual in the game doesn't really give you all that good of an idea. I guess I could have went online and watched some videos or something, but fucking who wants to do that, you know?
Well, no, I mean, you couldn't do that in the year 2000. Are you kidding? Like,
Well, yeah, then you couldn't know.
yeah. What videos could you even watch online? Like, you're gonna download some QuickTimes or something? Like, no. That
Yeah,
wasn't gonna
fuck.
happen. Download 15 seconds of pornography? No, that doesn't help you play Vagrant Story.
Well,
I mean,
depends.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't teach you anything about crafting.
No, that's for sure. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it sounds cool. I mean, like I kind of like the idea of just an RPG where it's not, all story and just kind of, keeps you in the action.
Yeah, it's a lot of
But,
dungeon crawling. They have
I like it.
some platforming elements, which is pretty neat.
And you play as apparently a man named Ashley.
That's right. My middle name's Ashley, so
I'm not down on it. I'm just, it seems like at some point people in Japan latched onto that as like a character name, or people who translated Japanese games went with that as a name for RPG characters. I don't know. So
Is it really, Jesse? I don't think I ever knew that.
really, you didn't? Yeah,
No.
Jam is. Wow,
I did not know that either. Yeah.
really? I could have swore. Wow.
Learning
What's my-
deep secrets about Jesse on Game That Tune episode 185.
Yes, exactly. And let's all say our full names so that for all future references, we all know each other's middle names.
Followed by our social security numbers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Last 5
And-
addresses.
Right,
Johnny,
And,
you first.
Yeah, Johnny. What was the name of your first pet? And your high school mascot.
Your mother's maiden name.
Yeah. Your
your best
your
friend.
grandmother was born.
And your favorite
It's
movie.
clear, Jesse, that we've played a lot of Vagrant Story, haven't we?
I didn't think you would, but it was a game that I never got into. I remember seeing it, and I did try it like when it was like I guess relevant, and it
Right.
didn't stick. And I thought, well, maybe a more mature eye will get into it. And I did appreciate a lot of it. The music was good. I liked the art style, the way the story was unfolding. Like some of the looking around in the rooms, because it's like every time you go into a room, there's either like a puzzle in there or some monsters you got to kill, and like that stuff was cool. But like anytime I was trying to, I guess, equip weapons or use items or craft, it just seemed like so overwhelming. And
Right. And I like that your trivia left me no choice on how to deduce this game. By mentioning that demo disc, which contained approximately 10,000 Square games.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I'm going to pull up my list of games from the year 2000, which I keep on hand for my GTT Gyms research. And I'm going to Control F Square until I find something that I don't think we've used and that came out in the year 2000. Oh, look, Vagrant Story.
good plan.
Dope. And
it's
so
Oh, go ahead.
I was also reading, it's strange, on Wikipedia, this is listed in the series Ivalice Alliance.
Yes.
So it's vaguely Final Fantasy adjacent besides just being a Square game?
Yeah, I was gonna, because one, the composer is the same guy who composed Final Fantasy Tactics, which is the soundtracks do sound very similar.
Word.
So yeah, it takes place in a fictional place called Ivalice, but Final Fantasy Tactics also takes place in Ivalice, and Final Fantasy 12 also takes place in Ivalice, and
Okay,
it's like
yeah, see, that's what I
they're
thought.
like not like they're kind of close to each other apparently, but not like they don't interact in the games. They don't live like it's weird.
Right. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Like, I don't know, just establish a fictional world and then have things taking place in it that don't necessarily intersect, as though it's, stay with me here, a large world, a great big world out there.
Yeah, it's
And,
neat.
maybe Final Fantasy 12 could be taking place with no one realizing that Vagrant Story is taking place somewhere else in the world. I think that's kind of cool.
That is really cool.
And it would also be cool
I
if
think
they were to keep that going and then obviously expand upon the world and maybe just have little intersections. Like if in Vagrant Story you had to do like one thing in the, kingdom of like what's it called in Final Fantasy 12? I'm Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca. If you had to do like one thing in Dalmasca, it's like, oh, it is Ivalice. Like it's not just in name. It's I'm here. Where's Captain Bosch? Forget it. He's probably dead. David?
No, I was going to say, it's like, that's one thing that I'm kind of surprised, and maybe it's just the crossover fan within me, but like, why hasn't Square done that? Because they have so many RPG series. Like, why don't they just... You could have like a multiverse. You could have like some giant cosmic threat who's going to destroy worlds, so you have to ban heroes from other worlds. Like, how hard would it be to have Cloud and like the governor from Dragon Quest VIII together?
Well,
yeah.
Okay. I was going to say they do have a Dissidia, which is a Final Fantasy multiverse type thing. But they haven't messed with like other like Dragon Quest or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it almost seems like it's in the in the blood of Vagrant Story to appear in these other Ivalice based games. I mean, you're playing a Vagrant. It's a story about a Vagrant just wanders between other Square games. That'd be a nice little touch. Especially if that demo disc, if the Vagrant adventured into all those other Square games, like that'd be kind of cool. Like you got to go to Legend of Mana for a quick minute. But anyway, no, I mean, the game sounds cool. And from what I'm also reading, it's not been re-released in any form. It's just kind of stuck on the PlayStation and kind of a forgotten, like, cool-ass game. And I'm like, I thought Square got around to remastering everything. What's going on here?
I think you can get on the PlayStation Store and play it on like your PS3 or PS4.
Okay. That's a good poem about Vagrant Story. It's available in PlayStation Store on your PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. Jesse, anything else about this this story of this Vagrant?
There's a dragon.
Really? Hold on now. Let's. Okay, I'm penciling it into the schedule of the show. We're now approximately going 30 minutes overtime. I would like to talk about a dragon in an RPG. Jesse, I assume you have a large discussion prepared.
Yeah, you have to fight it. But then, I think like the window breaks and like he like leaves, so you don't get to kill it. I think it's all blurry. Then you fight a Minotaur later on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're speaking my
Johnny
language.
yawning. He's like Minotaur, more like Minobor.
Oh, geez, John. Sorry that we can't fucking impress you with the Vagrant Story and its fucking
go to the next
compendium of
game.
monsters.
Fuck this shit.
I was going to say very quickly. Okay.
No, go for it, David.
No, I was going to say, it's like, before we move on, I do want to piggyback on John's idea about the Vagrant appearing in all of the characters from the demo disc, because I would absolutely love to play as the Vagrant in Front Mission 3 or Chocobo Racing.
Yeah, man. They should have done that. It would have put the Vagrant over in a big way.
It's like, here's this fun Chocobo
No, he's
racing
riding a
game.
Vagrant.
It's like, here's the Oh, that would be even better if he was one of like the rideable characters.
Exactly. He's not a rider. He's a rideable. You got Fatty Chocobo. You got the Vagrant. Everybody's here.
Wait. Go back to that last one. Fatty Chocobo? No, the other one.
Yeah, this guy hauls ass, man. He's got places to go, video games to visit. Great job, David. Dynamite drop in.
Yeah, thanks.
Game 3.
All right, guys. So, one of the noteworthy issues of this game was its poor translation. One character tends to speak poetically and make references to Japanese culture that were translated literally, resulting in a lot of gibberish.
どんな時でもあなたは一人じゃないよ抱きしめてた板にこぼれ落ちた瞬間優しさ束ね嵐の中へ駆け出す約束してここへ帰ると果てしなく遠くへ行ってもどんな時でもあなたは一人じゃないよ繋いだ手は離さない信じてるあの日の絆強い想いが同じ夢を探し続けてる
All right, so how you guys feeling?
Pretty good.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good,
really
very
good.
good. So this is our fan request for the week. This came to us via our Discord from, let's see, 3 of our most powerful patrons. This came to us from Daniel Perky, Chrono, and Wild Arms Fan, all in Discord. So thank you all very much. Let's see those answers. What do you know? It's a hat trick. Did I give it away with Wild Arms Fan? It's Wild Arms 2. Hell yeah. Wild Arms 2 for the PlayStation 1. We got a good PlayStation show going tonight, guys.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it is 2000.
Yeah, I know it's, but it's us too. So yeah, it's not normally
Okay,
this
that's true,
PlayStation
yeah.
heavy. So, yeah, man, what a game, Jesse. I am really counting on you, man. Please tell me you put some hours into Wild Arms 2.
I've only played Wild Arms 1 and 3.
Ah, how, man? How can you skip such an essential entry in the series? Like, how could you miss out on this?
I don't know. I've been wanting to play it. I just haven't got around to it.
It's all right, man. David, then I'm counting on you. You're my backup on this one. You played Wild Arms too, right?
I mean, it's a PlayStation RPG that has me written all over it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so David's unnecessary, uncalled for sarcasm aside, we're defaulting down to John. John, you've got to take us through Wild Arms 2.
Yeah,
I'm not taking no for an answer.
I actually served as executive producer on this game.
Oh my God! Thank God, man. I was a little worried that none of us knew anything about Wild Arms 2.
No, I'm in the special
Okay.
thanks credits at the end there.
Right, see, and I keep forgetting, man, your name translated into Japanese is Akafumi Kaneko. So, Akafumi, I need you to tell us everything you know about Arms 2. Think back 20 years. I know you have that weird selective memory thing where you only can remember things if they're written in a Wikipedia article. But you know, think back and tell us all your favorite stories about your development and production of Wild Arms 2.
Well,
You know, how wild did you make those arms?
Well, I made them pretty wild because I was the one that made Ashley's special move booty call happen. I insisted on that being a move in the game. And
Yes.
I really
Thank
got a lot
goodness.
of pushback on that. They really gave me a lot of shit, but I insisted no. Like, this is not Wild Arms if Ashley does not have a move called Booty Call.
You got a lot of pushback on that, Booty? Is
I
that
did.
what you're saying? I like it. Yeah. And as I insinuated in our last discussion, another RPG on this show featuring a main character named Ashley. It's a pretty Ashley heavy night here on Game That Tune. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah. My only hope really to keep this streak going is that Johnny picks some kind of Game Boy Color Olsen Twins game. But I'm betting he didn't, since he was executive producer of Wild Arms 2.
Yeah.
So realistically,
I want to humbly make a personal request to John. Will you please change your Twitter bio to say the Akafumi Kaneko of Game That Tune?
I was a pretty fucking prolific 14-year-old, you guys.
I don't want to hear any more of that story.
I want to hear a lot more.
So exactly, Johnny, elaborate, but don't. But yeah, so Wild Arms 2, aka Wild Arms Second Ignition, a cool RPG. So Jesse, refresh me. The first Wild Arms, and I assume the rest of the series also, was this the cowboy RPG?
Yeah, it's kind of like a cool like cowboys and magic type of situation. It's really cool.
Word. Yeah, because I was confused because like the immediate description on Wikipedia mentioned like terrorists, and I'm like, now hold on, I thought we were dealing with cowboys. Like, pump those terrorist brakes. It's only 2000, man. Come on, we don't need terrorists in our cowboy RPG. But oh well. Yeah, so Ashley, the gunfighter, gets recruited to fight a terrorist group called Arms. David can elaborate on this. I assume the terrorist group is it's all the people from the Switch game Arms.
I'll have to double check my sources. I'll have to give Shiggy a call, but I believe the character designer of Arms pulled from Wild Arms. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the Arms fighting game was almost called Wild Arms until they ran into a trademark dispute. And they're like, all right, fine.
Game they designed years earlier.
Just, you know what? Just drop the adjective, call it Arms. We'll be done.
Right. Yeah, we'll figure out some other adjective for these arms to be. In the meantime, we'll just work on the arms. Now, yeah, maybe it's something involving the lead character having a move called Booty Call. They obviously that influenced their design of Twintel in Arms. She thick.
That stands to reason.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody said the word booty, and then 18 years later, there was a video game involving a sexy woman. Yep, all checks out. That's all in Johnny's resume.
Yeah.
18 years later, a video game was developed with a sexy woman. The only video game developed in those 18 years featuring a sexy woman.
New game. There was this groundbreaking new game involving a sexy woman.
Wait, hold the phone.
New ground for Shiggy, but not necessarily for the game industry at large.
I don't know. Have you played Pikmin 3? I'm just saying.
Wink, wink.
Purple Pikmin thick, though.
Episode.
Oh my
title.
god. And t-shirt idea.
Yeah. God, that should go on a shirt. Like a Pikmin with a thick ass. Dude.
All right.
Let's get on Fiverr this minute.
You guys go on without me. I'm going to go put out this.
I have some
commission.
research I must do. What are the Hey Siri, what's the rules on stealing artwork from Rule 34 for your own profit? Anyway, no, yeah. I only feel bad for this because we got an enthusiastic request for this. We have like 3 of our most powerful patrons requesting this game. One of whom literally is, under the alias Wild Arms fan, and I feel like we are not good enough Wild Arms fans for this. Like, it's got great tunes, and it seems like a cool game. And it's apparently it's there. I think that's also available in the PlayStation Store for you to download now. But I think it was surpassed by every subsequent entry in this series, a series that has more entries than I realized. I kind of thought this fizzled out, but there's 7 Wild Arms games, aren't there? Jesse's cracking up. I don't know what I did.
It's not what you did.
Oh, okay. Word.
I'm sorry, Johnny decided.
Oh, Johnny found the Rule 34 Pikmin, didn't he? God damn it.
He certainly did.
I should have known.
I found our
That's
sugar
literally
side, boys.
That's the point of Rule 34. It's there.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
Oh God.
We're gonna have a
Forward to
great.
that post show.
We're gonna have a great GTT after hours.
But yeah, so anyway, also, so with regards to the famously bad translation, I guess this character Liz speaks very kind of flowery and poetically in the Japanese version, and whoever was translating it did not understand that. So I pulled a few Liz quotes from a game FAQ. Do you guys want me to start spouting off Liz quotes?
Yes, please.
Please do.
Please.
Yeah, okay. Well, or should you guys just like have a conversation? I'll just like interject these as though I would be saying them. You know, don't leave me here. How about having a party to boost morale? The alternating events of joy and sorrow will taint future developments.
Taint.
Thanks, John. Great
Next
contribution.
game.
I love that John has literally rescinded back to being a 14-year-old.
Oh, punch drunk momentalism.
Game
Yeah, see,
4.
There's something about just
Thank
reading
you.
gibberish that's not that entertaining. You know, Ard saying and thanks. Don't meet his gaze. You won't petrify, but judging from previous experiences, you might lose consciousness. That's not that gibberishy. It seems if you take calcium before bed, the absorption is best. No one fusses like
What?
Lizard. We could just let him die. That's one possibility. I mean, the guy has lived long enough already. Let's see. Gentlemen don't like violence, but love the violence of words. Prepare for word torture. I can't keep quiet. I'm full of dangerous phrases that should be censored. I gave him a nosebleed, but no friendship developed. That's a story of my life there, Liz. My calculations, how something vital missing? Could it be poetry? Yes, thank you. Fantastic job, translation team, on Wild Arms 2. And, you know, a great game, a great soundtrack that I think was requested so vociferously so that it would be added to GTT Radio, which is where it will now live on in, you know, in proper, you know, properly honored. Great soundtrack. Shout out the composer Michiru Naruke. And let us not discuss this mysterious cowboy terrorist RPG any further. It says
Maybe
nothing
I'll
to do
stream
with
it
me
sometime.
wanting. I don't want to check my phone and look at this sexy purple Pikmin, but we are going to move on to the next game. So thanks to everybody for the request.
Game 4.
All right, guys, this game was the subject of a lot of controversy when it ran a 1997 advertisement reading, John Romero's about to make you his bitch. All right, guys. Who's got some answers?
Everyone who heard your trivia.
Jesse says Daikatana. David says Daikatana. John says Daikatana. This is Daikatana, the huge flop from John Romero. I think this game had some good ideas going for it, but I did it. So it had this concept of time travel and having each episode of the game like take place in a different time, and you have different weapons based on that time, which is kind of cool, I think. But the story was really strange. You play as Hiro Miyamoto, named directly after Shigeru Miyamoto.
I was going to say, did someone clear that with Shiggy? Like, son of a bitch.
I don't think they ran that by him. And basically, it's the game starts in the year, I think it's like 2455 Japan, when a guy shows up with the Daikatana, which is an ancient sword that you could really fuck up the day with. And you wind up going back in time and recovering the Daikatana and saving stuff. And that idea is cool. The main problem with it is that it's a first-person shooter where you are constantly on an escort mission. Because you have two NPCs that follow you. Well, you have one that follows you around for half the game.
Right.
And you got a second.
I was trying to remember the problem with this game.
And sometimes they'll do stuff like they'll climb ladders and then get stuck on the stairs. Like, it's really ridiculous.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, you'll have these massive firefights, and they'll just kind of stand there in the middle of the room and get shot. Like, they're really not smart. And I think if they had managed to fix that, they may have had a good game. Because, again, like, you get interesting weapons, you get some fun weapons, and, like, some cool effects.
Yeah, because, like, without the constant, like, companion quest, it's more like Time Splitters. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, it's like
cool
going back in
weapons,
time and
first
getting
person
different
game.
weapons. Isn't that Time Splitters?
Yeah, with that, and dope.
Yeah,
like,
you go back to ancient Greece and beat up Medusa. That's kind of cool.
Oh, she was definitely alive back then. That's cool, man.
Yeah. You go to year 500 BC Norway and basically beat up God of War, I think. It's it had some
Wait.
ideas. It had some ideas.
Oh.
Wait, so
See, now I'm
hold-
yawning at your mythical monsters, John. How does that feel?
Wait, I'm sorry. I just want to go back. It's like, so God of War was not in ancient Greek times, but in ancient Norse times? Did I miss
the
something
new-
here?
Well,
Did God of
both.
War move to Norway?
Okay.
He,
I mean,
he
vaguely.
killed. He killed all the Greek gods, and then he moved to Norway.
He went
and
after
now
the
I was
he's
gonna
Norse
say, it's like,
gods.
I'm pretty sure there were 4 games where he was fucking up the Greek pantheon.
Uh-huh. And then he moved into the new pantheon, and in the keeping with the spirit of Daikatana, somehow moved back in time to 2000 to be related to this game by John's fucking obscure reference brain. Yeah, no.
So I
No,
really
this
enjoyed,
game
I really enjoyed this piece of knowledge that I
Please.
just read. The developers forecast sales of 2.5 million units.
okay.
Wow.
The game's domestic sales. Anyone want to take a guess as to how many domestic sales they managed to reach?
50,000.
130,000.
John,
69,000.
Nice.
40,351.
Oh man.
Damn.
You all
Wow.
overestimated.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. I thought I was being real safe with that one. Good God. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Yeah.
In the first 2 months, it only sold about 8,000 copies. Whew.
Yeah. See, and it's ballsy, thinking so highly of yourself at this time in game making to put your name on the box. Like, this is technically John Romero's Daikatana. Like,
True.
okay, now, I'll give it to you. You were a guy. You had Wolfenstein and Doom and Quake under your belt. Like,
He's
you
not.
know, you're all
Oh, for some reason I kept getting this mixed up with George Romero.
George Romero.
And I was
Which
like-
I did the same thing.
And I was
Oh
like,
yeah, me too. Thank you, Wikipedia, for saving me from making a really weird zombies reference. Yeah.
I was like, he really he loved zombies, and then all of a sudden, hey, let's make a game about fucking time travel. And they're like, wait,
Yeah.
are there zombies? No,
Exactly. Like
you
it's
okay?
crazy to me that he played the Joker in the '60s Batman movie and thought that gave him license to make a time travel video game.
God
that's
damn it,
somebody
you
else.
stole my bit. I was just about
Yeah.
to say, it's like, could you imagine if this was Caesar Romero's Daikatana and you have to
Oh
go
my
around being a
God.
Latin lover seducing monsters?
I see. I'd be into that too. Yeah. And
The first
He
thing
was a
I
good
think
Joker.
of when I think of people that put their name on things, the first person I think of is Tyler Perry. And I would like to play Tyler Perry's Daikatana.
God.
A top
That's
tier.
right.
Goes to samurai times.
Medea Miyamoto.
Madaikatana. Medea Katana. Trying to work that one out. I like it. Daikatana of a mad black woman. It's not a bad idea, John. It probably
No,
would
it
have been a
is.
bigger hit that way. No, I don't know, man. I think hello. I think it'd be a pretty good fucking idea. Like, you just. I haven't seen enough Medea movies to make specific references to the way she would attack mythical creatures, but I think it'd be pretty fucking good, man. I think it'd be pretty funny. She'd probably just, I don't know. I'm assuming just like swat him with her purse, and then they'd all go to jail together. Then this really could they could have just
Christmas.
adapted Daikatana to be the plot of Boo a Medea Halloween. Like, would have been
Now-
a great crossover.
Another fun thing I found while researching this game is apparently in 2009 they released a soundtrack for this game on CDs.
Oh, thank God.
Which John
Finally.
Romero announced via tweet. Said tweet got 4 retweets and 8 replies.
Right, man. Yeah, man. This guy, he's not enough of a guy to have his name on a game. Like, God, I don't even know who Sid Meier is, but I know who his pirates are. Like,
Civilization.
and the Civilization. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to start out putting your name on the games or don't do it at all. Like, you can't just be like, "Hi, I'm John Romero, and I made this game, Daikatana." It's like, "Now wait, who are you?" It's like, "Well, I made Doom and Quake and stuff." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well,
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen those old posters of Jimmy Carter that says, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Carter and I'm running for president"? That's what I imagine. A black and white photo of John Romero says, "Hi, I'm John Romero and I'm making Daikatana." Like, that's your ad
yeah.
in the magazine.
I literally picture like John Romero doing like in-store appearances in like Circuit City and no one caring. Like, yeah.
Well,
"Hi,
that's
I'm
the weird-
John Romero. I'd like to talk to you about Daikatana." It's like, "Nope, I'm just here for I don't know, printer ink. Leave
Buy
me alone,
my
please."
game. Buy my game.
Well, that's the weird thing too. Is like the guy developed Wolfenstein 3D and Doom and Quake. Like, he made first-person shooters. You'd think that name would be big, but for some reason it just isn't. And I think that reason is Daikatana.
Yeah, it's Daikatana, and all his games not having he forgot to put his name on his homework, quite frankly. That's the problem. He should have fucking been slapping his name on games the whole time. It should be John Romero's Wolfenstein 3D and John Romero's Quake. Then we'd know who he was. We wouldn't care. He'd still be just as irrelevant after Daikatana, but at least it would make sense for him to attempt to slap his name on something. Like, it's just, it's a bold move slapping your name on the box. Like, Shiggy don't do that shit. Shiggy just makes the games, man, and he just, it's like, yeah, cool. People know.
Kojima
They
puts his name on stuff.
Yeah, but he runs his own production studio. He puts it in, it's his studio, and he, it's like in the credits, and and
Lord-
he's quite frankly, he's earned that privilege. So that's the thing. Kojima makes better games than Daikatana. So
I feel like the name thing used to happen a lot more too, because you had like Lord British, you had like Peter Molyneux and stuff like that, and
true. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, these guys got a little too high on themselves and thought they should put their names all over things, and it's like, no, you shouldn't. You should make good games.
Yeah.
And
I like-
don't call your own shot about how many copies you're going to sell.
Don't call your own shot about making people. You're about to make people your bitch, and then not releasing the game for 3 years.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You said the 1997 ad for a 2000 game.
Yeah, apparently, I guess it was
it's
pretty close
phenomenal.
to getting done, and then they decided to change from the Quake 1 engine to Quake 2 engine and delay the game like 3 years.
Fantastic, man. It's I guess I would say it's reminiscent of Duke Nukem Forever, but that took even longer and was even shittier. So
Was it?
Who knows, man? I don't know. That's the thing.
Does Duke
they
Nukem-
should have been.
Does Duke Nukem Forever have you on a constant escort mission?
No, you have a mission with a lot of escorts, but different kind of. I'm hitting that Duke Nukem humor level, baby. That's good shit. Literally, I'm holding some good shit in my hand. Duke Nukem. Yeah.
what?
I got it's a shit and sex game. I don't know, man. It's
The
Duke
shit
Nukem.
and sex game.
Doesn't
That's
he,
the episode title.
I'd play that
it's,
game.
yeah, exactly.
It's like
First person.
there's that game out, Just Shapes and Beats. Next, they're gonna make Just Shit and Sex.
Oh, dude, a first-person shit game would be fascinating. Mainly because you don't have ice in your ass. So it'd
Isn't
be,
Wadham like a shit game?
I love Wadham, and it's there is a lot of pooping in that game. It's fantastic.
Who's
We'll say
14
a
now,
first
you
person
guys?
shit game would just be like you looking over the shoulder constantly.
Yep. Hell of an
what?
angle to play a game from. So you can look
Wait.
at the shit, John, as it comes out of your butt. Come on, man.
Like you
keep up.
backwards through corridors looking over your shoulder to see where you're shitting.
Wait, is that
Wouldn't
how
you-
you guys shit? I don't shit
Wouldn't
like
you
that.
just like look
No, I'm saying,
down,
but if you were
like-
going to make like a video game, like obviously your projectile shitting behind you, so you have to aim, so you look over the
That's right.
shoulder to see.
A first-person shit game, John, realistically would take place in more places than just on the toilet. You don't just play the game sitting on the toilet taking a shit. Like that's not how. It's not the game we're all envisioning. We're envisioning a game that's a first-person shooter, except the ammunition is
first-person
shit coming out of your
shitter.
butt. Yeah. Hey. Get us out of here, John.
Oh,
cannot
fuck
believe
you.
we managed to
That
keep
was
talking
good.
about this. God, and all the ways to keep a Daikatana conversation going, talking about literal, shooting shit out of your ass in a game is not what I intended. Fuck this.
Game 5.
This game features an unlockable mode, which consists of a remake of the original game in 3 dimensions. So, who's got their answers? All right, so play that hat trick sound. Everybody says Excite Bike 64.
Hell yeah.
John sent me a
This is
message
Excite
like,
Bike 64.
John's like, hey, play my sound if we all get it. I was like, okay, I guess it was David's game that he matched up with before the show.
What are you talking about, John? Nobody needs a peek behind the curtain.
That's the hat trick sound that I uploaded because I was the one who chose this game.
Right. Yeah. I was going to say, if I didn't even look to see if David also uploaded a special hat trick sound. So that would have been, yeah, he was nearly confused enough by that. Well played, David. Great no sell on the Excite Bike 64 confusion there. Yeah, what a game, man. A game so great and prolific that maybe more than one person picked it prior to the show. Yeah,
but I mean, it is such a great iconic game of the N64 era that I don't think we can really put any blame on someone who might have chosen this game after somebody else did.
No blame.
I remember one thing about this game, and that's that it worked. It worked with the Nintendo 64 expansion pack, and when you turn that on, I think it enabled a high resolution mode, but it added black bars to the top and bottom of the screen because it now went to widescreen mode. And when you're playing on like a 19-inch piece of shit TV, like those black bars are just terrible. And I was like, what? Yeah. Like, no.
Nintendo was really pushing everybody to buy a widescreen TV. Who knew?
I mean, this game did use the expansion pack, and it did include an unlockable high-resolution mode, but if there's one thing you don't want with N64 textures, it is high resolution.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. There's a number of things about this game I don't want. I played this today in leading up to the show in anticipation of using this as my game. This game's not good.
Man, John. How about
I respectfully disagree, but go on.
No, it's your game. You tell me why you respectfully disagree. This game's I'm not going to say I'm not going to go so far as to drop like a real hot take and say that it's hot dog shit. But no, this game's not very much fun.
I disagree. I enjoyed this game when I played it. I haven't
When did
played
you
it
play
recently.
last? I played it
Say-
within the last 4 hours.
It's like I haven't played it recently, and admittedly, like a lot of games on the N64, maybe it doesn't quite hold up, and maybe it has some issues.
Mhm.
But I definitely remember enjoying this game and having a lot of fun with it, particularly because the Excite Bike on NES, obviously you were racing around like a dirt bike track. And this game had those indoor tracks, but this game also had outdoor tracks. So you actually got shortcuts on Excite Bike, which was interesting. And some of those shortcuts were actually kind of cool. Like I remember, I can't think of the
Yeah.
name of it, but there was a stage that was kind of like on a farm or in a valley, and you pass by like a farmhouse or some kind of building, and there's a shortcut where you go through the grass and up, and you basically are driving on the roof of the building to like cut across the track. So there was part of it that had kind of like a more 3D open environment, and
Mhm.
there were different modes to this game. There was a desert mode, which had like a randomly generated desert that you would just drive through. And I believe the goal was to like find campfires and drive through them to extinguish them.
Ruin other people's camping trip by hauling ass through their campfire.
Yeah, they're in the desert.
Yeah.
Where are they going to set on fire? Like,
I mean, like
Shut up, John.
the main point was that, like, you know, again, Excite Bike on NES was a very single track based game, and now you had like a free roaming environment that you could just fuck around in on a dirt bike. That was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and you know, I will say that's cool, and I like the outdoor tracks and the 3D of it all. The problem is, to me, that only seems cool comparing it to Excite Bike, not necessarily comparing it to other 3D racing games of the time. It's you know, it's funny. It's the second game in the Excite Bike series. This is the sequel to Excite Bike (1985). So it's like, yeah, wow, they really have come a long way in this. It's like, yeah, you know, other games also came a long way. Like, how's this stack up next to Diddy Kong Racing? You know, not so much fun. You know, how's it stack up to most other like kart racers and things that have come out for Nintendo 64 and PlayStation? You know, I don't know. It's missing something.
Apparently, allegedly, it was created as like a straight motocross game. And then like as they were developing it, Nintendo was like, well, you know what? We have this Excite Bike name. Like, let's just
Right.
put that on there and make it an Excite Bike game.
Yeah, you know, marketing wizards they are.
I
It's also funny. Go for it, John.
I recall having a pretty good time in like a stunt mode. Like I remember there being like an arena where you just do stunts, and I did enjoy that. And I think this had a soccer mode, so I think this was kind of like beating Rocket League a little bit to the punch of having people in vehicles play with giant soccer balls.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that. I don't remember the stunt mode necessarily, but yeah.
I remember, I think, like, because there was the desert mode where it was just like the free roaming desert, and I think there was like another open, just completely open area track that was set in like a stunt range where you could just fuck around and do stunts. Like, I definitely remember that in the game. And then, of course, you could unlock a soccer mode, and then you could unlock what they called Excite 3D, which was basically all of the tracks from the original Excite Bike, but in 3D.
Wait, there's more than
Right.
one track in Excite Bike?
Yeah.
I never got past the first.
Or they all just ran together because they were NES dirt tracks. Yeah, no, my main issue with this isn't, I don't know, isn't even comparing it to, it is, I guess, slightly comparing it to other 3D races of the time. I was playing this today, man. This game controls like shit. Like, this is not fun to play. And it harkens back in one way to one of my frustrations with the original Excite Bike. When I'm playing a racing game, I want to go fast, and I don't want to think about whether or not my engine is going to overheat. And that seems to be kind of the only thing at play in the original Excite Bike. You have to monitor the heat of your engine and not use too much turbo. Not very much fun. And that has carried forward into Excite Bike. And so Excitebike 64, I should say. And man, it's not fun playing a 3D racer with like these big hills that you have to climb and use like gas and turbo, but like the temperature meter climbs severely by you using the gas and the turbo and only drops off ever so slightly. Like you're in a constant ballet of nearly overheating your motorcycle, and it's just not a fun thing to have to think of.
So,
and then there's also the turning in the game, which is just awful. But
I actually like that, though. That's the thing. That was actually
I was gonna
a
say,
appealing
see-
part.
have I got the game for you?
See, that's one of the things that I liked is that there was that added element of strategy, and you had to like consciously think. You couldn't just hold A and win. And to your point about the hills, it's like that's kind of the point about Excitebike is whenever you hit the ramp, if you balance off and land correctly, you get a turbo boost. And in terms of the temperature gauge, I remember in Excitebike 64, you could hit other people and like you would knock them off and make them spin out. And if you did that, you would like lower your turbo thing. So like you could cool your engine by fucking over other people.
Well, see, that wasn't explained to me. All that happened to me repeatedly playing this game was I got knocked off my motorcycle by other people and had to very slowly accelerate to rejoin the race. And then immediately my engine like gauge was back in the red. And it's like, oh, what the fuck, man? My thing says I'm only going like 20. Like, this is ridiculous. How am I overheating my engine? Am I missing a gear shift button or something? Am I just keep it in first gear and redlining my fucking motorcycle? Like, I couldn't put the whole thing together. I'm sure that as you get better at the game, you just get good at these things. But like revisiting this for the first time in 20 years earlier today, I'm like, dude, this game's not very much fun. Like, it's just,
Yeah, I did enjoy the physicsiness of it. Like I remember, because I remember what you're talking about, David. Where like you do a jump or something, and I think this is why I like the stunt mode. You had to kind of figure out the right. You could adjust your angle as you try to land, and you want to try to have that smooth landing where you keep going. And like I really enjoyed that kind of thing. Like I like that. And yeah, I like having to watch the engine gauge and like constantly trying to be on the edge, but just never quite going over, and kind of just like constantly like like mashing the A button to like instead of holding it all the time. Like like I love shit like that. I love like the whole, because like I can't do that in real life. I can't constantly redline my car's engine. So if I have an opportunity to redline something, I'm gonna do it.
See, and that all ties into my final, problem with the game is, if I'm going to be constantly redlining an engine and having to worry about turbo usage and all this stuff, I need a sensation of speed. And very seldom in this game does it feel very fast. The game, the only time it feels fast is when you're going into a turn. Literally, if you start playing this game on like amateur difficulty and don't know to drift into every single one of your turns, you're going to smack wildly into the wall and fall off your bike. So the only time it feels like you're going fast is when you have forgotten to drift into a turn and actually make the turn. Other than that, this game doesn't have much of a sensation of speed, which is what I like about racing games. So, you're managing all this stuff and not going very fast, and then like having to, it feels like it would be if I actually got out on a racetrack and tried to drive a fucking dirt bike up one of these hills. I would fuck all the clutch up and end up like, getting hit by somebody and slowly rolling my way up and down the hill and not really doing the cool jumps. Like it's just, it was a frustrating play.
All right, John, in terms of not feeling a sense of speed with this game, that I'll cop to. It's a pretty slow game. Like I think I think your bike maxes out at like 50 miles an hour. Like it's not a very exhilarating game.
Right. That was really, ultimately what ended up being my problem. It's like, okay, I can take like difficult to control games with like kind of, odd systems if they're like kind of fun and exhilarating. And there just wasn't a whole lot of exhilarating in this game. It's like, That's disappointing. Like, I thought I remembered this being more fast. And I realized also I was definitely mistaking this with like Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000 at some point, which was also a bad dirt bike game for the Nintendo 64, but was not this. But it was like, I remember that one being fast and bad, whereas this one was just, I'm bad at it and it's not fast. Like I could see Excitebike having more depth and being fun eventually, but like revisiting it today, I'm like, wait, this isn't the Jeremy McGrath game I was thinking of, and I'm bad at this. This is really too bad. I thought this was going to be a lot of fun. Like I thought it was just going to be a fucking basically Mario Kart with motorcycles. Like, what a fool I was. And I'm not saying I need items, but fucking Excitebike isn't Road Rash. I'm not saying it needs to be combat, which is another reason I'm a little frustrated that you can get knocked off your bike by other people for some sort of gain. But it's like, this isn't ticking any of the necessary boxes for a fun motorcycle experience. Like, oh man. So
there's a track creator.
There is a track creator, which is kind of cool. Like, that's dope. You get to make your own little dirt track. But there was one of the races where I'm playing as the big guy. There's different characters to choose from, and they all have different stats. And I don't think the big guy can go fast enough to make one of the jumps. There's a big jump in like this desert canyon level, and the fat guy always just falls into the canyon. It's like there's some bad like design choices at play in this game.
There's some life lessons in this game. Like, look, if you're only getting a dirt bike, and you got to be in the right shape. You can't, if you're too heavy, you're just not gonna make certain jumps, man. That's how gravity works.
Oh man, that's pretty rude.
See, maybe that's like where. So it's like maybe that's where my issue is, because you're talking about, it's like, yeah, you got to drift into every turn, otherwise you're going to run into the wall. It's like, I never had that problem, but I always played as the girl, and I think the girl had like the best handling in the game.
Right. Yeah. See, I was playing as the like balanced character, jumping Jim Rivers, and that motherfucker couldn't make a turn without hitting the wall. Like, I'm just like, what is going on? And then I had to pause, look at the controls, and R was slide. And I'm like, okay, well, let's try that. Oh, look, that's how you make every turn. Got it. And then there's also, the Bobby Big Dog Malone. And the game, it is a cautionary tale. No, you can't go through the desert course as Bobby Big Dog Malone because he can't make the canyon jump. It's very frustrating. But if this were a better, approximation of riding a motorcycle, a big guy on a fucking motorcycle going the right speed can make a jump. And I could not get this one to work. So it's fuck your life lesson, John. It's bad design is what it is.
I'm going to make this jump just because. Not in the game.
What are you talking about? You're saying you're going to go make a jump on a motorcycle?
Yeah, I'm going to get a motorcycle. I'm going to make a massive jump. And I'm going to get off and just shout to this guy, Excitebike 64 is pretty okay.
Seriously, man. But, look up like clips of Nitro Circus at some point. You want to see fat guys making fucking crazy motorcycle jumps. It happens. Most of the time, dangerously. But it can happen. So, anyway, that's all I really got in the tank for Excitebike. I feel like I'm overheating now. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Excitebike 64. And I feel like this is something that we've brought up before when talking about other Excite games, but I missed the Excite series. Like, this was a fun racing series, and I feel like Nintendo should bring this back.
Yeah, man, Nintendo's got a couple of fun racing series they need to bring back. This one I don't put at the top of that list. I've got another series that I would rather see them bring back at some point. You damn cowards. Show us your moves. Maybe
you've heard of it. Mario Kart. When's the next time we're going to get one of those?
Exactly. I feel like it's been years since Mario Kart 8 came out. It's somehow there's now 9 games in the series. Gonna need Mario Kart X. Where is it?
So for real, I would love to see a new Diddy Kong Racing game.
Yeah, we all would, but that's not made by Nintendo, John. Irrelevant to this discussion. How's that taste? Jeez Louise. Anyway, David, anything else on Excitebike 64? Obviously, both of our favorite game that came out for the Nintendo 64 in the year 2000.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Such
I didn't.
conviction.
Yeah, exactly. Said with authority.
Well, it's just because I feel like if I say like, "Yeah, this was a really fun game and it was pretty great," like you're gonna jump on my ass. Like, I had fun with it.
I'm letting you get the last word. It's time to fucking say it with conviction, man. You're allowed to
Type
like
Bike
something.
64 was a fucking fun game.
When's the last time you played it, though? Johnny, let's go to the calculated computer.
What the fuck?
That's not the last word at all.
John, I don't think you know anything.
What are you talking about?
Calculating computer activated.
I'm just trying to say that Yoshi's Cookie is pretty good and you match cookies. Can I say that? Can I? No? Like, fuck, man.
Scoring complete. This game's winner is Jesse Moore.
Hell yeah, it is. Great game tonight, Jesse.
Thank you.
You got every game right. Well done. And it's fantastic, man. You have a rare opportunity here on Game That Tune. You're going on a fantastic, glorious cruise next week, and will not be on the show. So you get the privilege of maybe doing a hand grenade theme, man. You get to drop a theme on the rest of us and make us deal with it. So what do you got in mind for a theme for next week's episode of Game That Tune?
I was thinking games with robots in them.
Ooh, I like robots. Yeah. Whatever would possess you to choose such a fantastic theme?
There's been some pretty famous robots recently, and just that,
Yeah, robots good. Fair enough. Games with robots. Done. Lock it in. Lock of the week. Jesse, enjoy your week off. It's gonna be great.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. You gonna have a little bit of that bubbly?
Oh yeah, so much of the little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. God, Jesse's going to be on a cruise with that guy. Thank you everybody so much for listening. What a great show we had this week. Total blast. Thank you for joining us live. We're live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Search for Game That Tune. Thank you to everybody checking us out in podcast form. You can find us in podcast form on Wednesday mornings, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for us. Don't leave us a rating or anything. We really don't care. Just listen. Listen and enjoy. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. Patreon is the home for a lot of fun exclusives. We've got fantastic stuff. We cranked out a ton of content for the month of December. We had new GTT gyms. We had all of our end-of-year mixtapes. We had Jesse's Covered Up series, and we got new stuff in the works all the time. I'm definitely keeping GTT gyms going into the new year. We're trying to get back on track with our movie commentaries, various other things, just, all kinds of fun stuff going on Patreon. And, most importantly, we just appreciate you guys supporting us. And we really thank everybody for being a patron. Specifically, we want to thank our Patreon super fans. Here we go. The list keeps getting longer. Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Chrono, and our newest Patreon super fan. He goes by Dominic Guy. You can find him in the YouTube chat, making a ton of requests as the Wild Arms fan. So thank you all so much for being Patreon super fans. We appreciate your support of the show very greatly. Thanks to all those patrons I just mentioned for placing their requests this week. They all requested Wild Arms too, and good on them. And you can request things just like they did in our Discord server. Find us there. Find us via email, gamethattune@gmail.com. Find us in our YouTube, 24/7 live stream chat. Maybe don't make requests there, but we love chatting with you guys. So come by, listen to some tunes and chat with us. And, you can find us on Twitter. Hit us up at Game That Tune. You can find me on Twitter at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
EFD Fleming.
And you can find this week's winner, the illustrious Jesse Moore, on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And real quick, I forgot that we totally have a Patreon superfan call in on the GTT hotline. So I'm going to act as though I'm saying that during the Patreon segment. By paying us a certain amount of money, like our fantastic superfan Alex Messenger does, you get to call in on the GTT hotline and get played on the show, or we'll plug something for you or some such thing. So I believe Johnny has a GTT hotline voicemail for us tonight.
Hey, Game That Tune. I decided to take John Harrington's offer on using the hotline to promote my show. It's a real good one. It's called The Messenger Presents a VGM Journey. And I just play a whole bunch of awesome VGM music. Oh, wait. That was a little redundant. Video game music. Wow. Oh, and also for, every new listener that I get, I promise that I will fuck one of their mothers. Not your mothers, though, but the Game That Tune crew's mothers. So, yeah, definitely give my show a listen. Bye!
Wow. Wowie. Thank you so much, Alex, for that message. And yes, I do endorse Alex's podcast, A VGM Journey.
I don't endorse that. I don't endorse that threat, though.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, is it a threat or is it a fucking promise? That's the question.
Because mine certainly needs some, so come on.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex, for calling in. And check out Alex's podcast. He has a lot of fun and plays a lot of good music, and doesn't really step on our toes because it's not about guessing the music, and we're funnier than he is. So, boom! If you pay us this much money on Patreon, you get fucking burned.
Oh, God damn it! We replaced the hot take sound with a goose honk. I forgot about that.
Yes.
But in many ways, it's
even
the same
better.
sound.
Wow. And resuming end of show. All right, Jesse, you got the bonus tunes, my man. What are you taking us home with this week?
So on the Vagrant Story soundtrack, they had a remix of the dungeon music that's sounds like a robot version of it. And it sounds pretty cool.
Hey, that's somehow ties in perfectly with next week's theme, man. I love it. Peace out, everybody. Jackie Chan Stuntmaster is copyright 2000. Radical Entertainment Incorporated and Midway. Vagrant Story is copyright 2000. Squaresoft. Wild Arms 2 is copyright 2000. Sony Computer Entertainment. John Romero's Daikatana is copyright 2000. Ion Storm and Eidos Interactive. Excitebike 64 is copyright 2000. Nintendo of America Incorporated.